There are 6 things you need to understand if you want to get your ex back or if you want to build attraction with a girl that currently doesn't feel attracted to you. First of all, remember, attraction is all based on dynamics. So if you're sad, if you're upset, if you have anxiety, if it's after the breakup and you miss her, and you have this feeling of nostalgia, and you want to constantly tell her how you feel, if you want to tell her that you have regret for the past mistakes and you want her to forgive you, all of these emotions create a bad dynamic between you and her because you interact with her through these emotions, and that creates a negative, tense dynamic between you and her. She doesn't want to be with you for many reasons because you triggered certain negative emotions in her. Now she doesn't want to have those, and that's where most guys make mistake, and they want to convince her that, hey, look at me, this is us, remember how good everything used to be, which is the opposite of what you need to do. She responds to positive energy. She responds to a guy who's strong. She responds to a guy who doesn't need her. If you feel miserable, if you feel upset, if the dynamic is in her favor, meaning she needs you less than you need her, everything you do is going to backfire. So you need to create a different dynamic. But how can you do it? If you're miserable, if you're sad, if you miss her, if you're rusty, if you cannot talk to other girls, if she's on the opposite side, if she's out talking to other guys, if she's maybe seeing somebody else, if she's exploring and she sees all of these new guys, all these new good emotions are available, the excitement, the fire, and you're in the opposite place, so what can you do? That's why you might have heard some people suggested to go on no contact, cut communication for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and don't talk to her so you can heal and she forget all the negative emotions. There's only 2 scenarios that you should apply no contact. And the first one is if you're so sad and miserable that if you see her, you're just going to fall apart and cry in front of her. And secondly, if she has an order against you, restraining order. If it's not those 2, no contact is not the way to go. So what you need to do, you need to first thing understand why she doesn't want to be with you. That's the very first thing, because most guys surprisingly don't know the attraction killers. They don't know what kills the trust. So you need to understand there's a list of 13 things that you need to avoid. I'm gonna put a link under this video. You can watch the video after this one. So you need to make sure you don't make your situation worse than what it is. That's the first thing. And it's really strange because even if you have been great with women and you never had problems with women after the breakup, almost every guy who had feelings for that girl bounces back to the needy, rusty guy that he used to be, or the guy who never knew how to do this. Go through that list, make sure you don't make your situation worse. Second thing, you need to take control of every single negative emotion that you have. That could be anxiety, anger, sadness, jealousy, neediness, reactiveness, any sign of emotional weakness, anything that you feel and you feel frustrated or you feel discomfort. All of those feelings push her away. Now, that could be regrets, maybe you took it for granted, anything that makes you feel like you need to talk to her to feel good. All of those emotions are triggered usually by fear. For example, anger is triggered by fear. Jealousy is triggered by fear of losing her to somebody else who might be a better match than you for her. So you fear you're gonna end up alone. All of this investment of time, energy, emotions that you have with this girl is all gonna go to waste. So monitor your emotions, attend those emotions. There are ways that I teach you in the program to deal with them. If you haven't, make sure you read my book. The link is in the description. These emotions are triggered by some thoughts. What are these thoughts? If you have watched my other videos, I always say there's devil right next to you and triggering bad thoughts. For example, what if she will go with somebody else and fall in love with this new guy? What if I'll never meet anybody like her ever again? What if she will never forgive me for what happens? These things that you feel, these emotions that you feel, they sound so real, they feel so real, and this reality that you're in, it might be dark, it might be like the ultimate reality for you right now. Like when you get a fever or when you get sick, it's very difficult to remember how it was when you didn't have the fever. You have the muscle pain, your body temperature changes, you have cold sweat, all of that. This is the same. Anxiety that you have is exactly the same thing. So I want to make sure that you're aware of this, and you know if you want to get her back, you cannot approach her from this reality. So you need to basically change your state. That's why all of the exercises I give you in the program are geared towards fixing these emotions and these thoughts. When you fix your emotions and thoughts, then you can go to next step, which is communication with her, communicating with her about being friends. First, fixing what was wrong between you and her and then moving to the new relationship. Most guys make a mistake. They want to approach her with all these negative emotions. They want to tell her, hey, you know what? I don't want to break up with you. We should get back together. And that's the problem, because she doesn't want to be with you when you're in this state. She wants to be with you if, number one, you've moved on and you don't feel miserable without her and you're actually happy on your own, and also she has forgiven you. And from now until you start talking to her about getting back together, you need to navigate and you need to manage some sort of communication. That's why you should only send her very specific text messages at very specific times. I put some samples of those in my book. The link is in the description. The book is free. Make sure you download and read it. So yes, texting skills are important. Conversation skills are important. All of those only work, all the outer skills work if you have this and this under control. If you're emotional, if you see her with another guy, you lose yourself, you feel anxiety, if you cannot control yourself, then no text message can save you. So just what you need to understand how to control your emotions and thought. Also, motivation is really important. Most guys, when they get into this situation, they don't want to take responsibility and they say, you know what, I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to change. This is who I am. I want to go back to where we used to be. I want to be together again. They're just not motivated to change. And the biggest secret here is the guy who lost the girl is not the guy who gets the girl back. You need to change, dude. The guy you used to be doesn't work. You might have heard me say this before. Let's say there are 5 levels of men and women. A man who is on level 2 can only get women on level 1. A man who's on level 3 can only get women on level 1 and 2. After the breakup, you and her, you're on the same level, or you might have fallen under. For you to get her back, let's say she's on level 3, you should be on level 4. Maybe when you guys were together, you were both on level 3. Now she's on level 4. This means you have to go to level 5. Now, what is level 5? Level 5 means mentally stable, understanding emotions and thoughts, and also techniques of texting, communication, conversation, emotionally detached, releases pain, fixes pain, understand the dynamic between you and her, and only communicate with her from the position of power where you have control over your emotions and you don't say anything out of desperation, out of neediness, out of fear of her getting closer to somebody else. The devil is the emotions, dude. If you want her back, you need to understand your emotions and you need to work on those. No text message will save the day if you don't have your emotions in control. So take care of those. If you want me to help you get her back, first thing, read my book. The link is in the description. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Don't worry, I'm going to help you get her back. This is Ben. See you in the next video.